So I've been doing a little bit of reading through my old journals recently, and I kind of just noticed that there was definitely a lot more insecurities on my mind. I was journaling a lot about just the ways that I felt a little bit insecure or things that I was struggling with, and it's made me realize that I've actually come a long way in my confidence journey. I think a lot of that just comes naturally with getting older and kind of exiting that awkward teenage phase, but I also think there were some very clear things that helped me along the way. So naturally, I did a little brainstorming and I created a step-by-step guide for basically just advice that I would give my younger self, or if I had a friend that was really struggling with confidence and I wanted to give them some tips. So that is what I'm going to be going through today. Find what small things help you feel confident and lean into them. I feel like so often, especially online, things like doing your hair and makeup or caring about fashion can kind of be looked down upon, and it's like, oh, well, you should feel confident just as your most natural, authentic self. And while I think that is true, I think that if you are struggling with confidence, or simply if you just enjoy doing your makeup, doing your hair, I think like there's absolutely nothing wrong in leaning into that. I personally like doing my makeup. I like wearing a cute outfit. I like wearing things that feel flattering for my body type. But especially if you are at a place where you don't feel the most confident, you shouldn't feel like you have to give up the things that you do feel like make you confident. And I feel like if you can find a couple small things that help you feel more confident, it's gonna make every other step that I'm about to talk about in this video exponentially easier. There is a time and a place to get out of your comfort zone, but in the beginning, don't feel like you have to. It's probably one that you've heard before, but clean out your following list. I feel like social media should be a place where you feel confident. It shouldn't be a place that you're just constantly bombarded with accounts or content that makes you feel bad about yourself. I think that oh, the sun just disappeared. I feel like social media and your specific feed should be curated to make you feel good. Follow accounts that represent you in some way. I think for me, following people that showed their real and honest journey with acne really helped me. And also following girls that were dancers and now they're not dancers, and the body image issues that kind of come along with that. I feel like following girls that shared their journey with that helped me so much. And also just always remind yourself, every time you see something on social media that made you feel a certain way, remind yourself that social media is a fraction of the full picture. Even people that are very upfront about their struggles or insecurities, you're still not actually seeing the full picture. Like, as much as I can sit on my channel and talk about my issues with anxiety or premenstrual dysphoric disorder, it's very different from you actually seeing me when I'm at my lowest, because obviously I'm not filming during those times because I don't want to be on camera. So just remember that the 1% is very different from the 99%. Treat yourself like your own boss. Chances are, if you go to work or you go to school and your boss or your teacher tells you that they need you to complete a certain task, you're gonna naturally prioritize that task and get it done. You're treating that task and that person with respect because you have to. And you should treat your own word and your own goals with that same amount of effort and respect, because every time you tell yourself, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm going to set this goal for myself, and you don't follow through, that is directly harming your self-confidence. I feel like over time, the best thing that has improved my confidence is setting goals for myself, no matter if they're super small or bigger goals. Following through and getting those things accomplished has helped my self-confidence so much. I feel like it is inherently showing yourself that you are capable and that you are strong and you're creative, you're resilient, you can get things done. I feel like that is just the biggest confidence boost there is. Surround yourself with people that bring out your confidence and make you feel safe. I feel like we've probably all had those friends that we feel like would just not necessarily have our back, even in the smallest ways. I'm thinking specifically of the type of people that would not tell you if you had food in your teeth. And then they would let you then go home and then realize that you had food in your teeth or lipstick on your teeth all day and they didn't tell you. Those are not the kind of people that you want to have around, because if they're not going to tell you about food in your teeth, they're sure as hell not going to tell you the important things. So consciously choose to be around the people in your life that make you feel loved and supported, that bring out your most authentic self and make you love that side of yourself. People that inspire you in a positive way. Back from my little intermission, being around people that put in equal effort, that overall just have created a very safe space for you. You feel like you can talk to them, vice versa. Those are the best kinds of relationships to have in your life. I feel like the key thing here is being sure to just be your most authentic self around everyone you meet, around all of the people in your life. And if some people are not gonna be down with that, it's basically the easiest way to weed out the wrong people. Fill up your own cup. I feel like sometimes we can end up pursuing or entertaining relationships in our lives that are not necessarily meant for us when we feel like we would be worse off without them. But if you can find ways to make your personal life and your alone time feel as fulfilling as possible, you're gonna be less likely to want to keep those people in your life. Starting new hobbies, taking yourself on solo dates, making routines for yourself that feel really good, and just treating yourself really, really well over time, that's gonna make you just want to protect your space in your life so much more. And you're not gonna be as scared to perhaps be a little lonely because you have yourself, and you'd rather hold space for people to come into your life that are going to lift you up, that are going to help you embrace your most authentic self. Practice giving negative self-talk no merit. This is actually something that one of my friends told me about 2 or 3 years ago, and it has just stuck with me to this day. But it is so easy to let one little insecure thought about yourself turn into a full-fledged complex, because if you start fixating on it, it's not gonna go away. And the thing is that as much as people online will say like, oh, just like think positive thoughts about yourself, and like, you know, the negative thoughts, the insecurities, they're bound to come up. Like there's no way around that. But I feel like the best thing we can do is just practice giving those thoughts no time of day, no importance, because as soon as you give them importance, that's when they have power over you. So just acknowledge them and let them slide away. This is definitely easier said than done, but I feel like it has gotten so much easier with time. When I was younger and say I was getting ready to go to dance, and I would put on my ballet tights and my leotard, and I'd be like, oh, why do I look like that? And I would just let it spiral so much, and I would just feel so bad about myself when literally like no one knew that was happening, or no one else was thinking those things about me. I was literally just doing it to myself. Whereas now I feel like because I've practiced this habit so much, now whenever something comes up, I'm like, not really into that. And I just kind of move on, and I swear it does get a lot easier to do that. And finally, step 7, challenge yourself. Going back to what I said at the beginning of this video, after you find things that do help you feel confident, that is when you can kind of start pushing yourself and challenging yourself to feel confident in other scenarios or without those things that you were leaning on before. But only once you've found a good foundation of confidence in yourself. But this is when you get to step out of your comfort zone and expand your comfort zone. So perhaps wearing things that you've previously avoided, or going a day without makeup, or, you know, wearing your hair natural, something like that, or putting yourself out there in a different social setting, anything like that. It doesn't have to be huge things, and it also doesn't have to be all the time. You can literally do it for like 1 hour in a day and then go back to what you're comfortable with, and it can just be super small incremental changes over time that eventually you're gonna feel like you're just confident no matter what you look like, where you are, who you're with. And that I feel like is just the ultimate goal. And also I feel like I just want to say, like, insecurities and your appearance or the way you talk, or I don't know, like just anything about yourself that you're insecure about, just remember that that is probably the least interesting thing about yourself, and what people are going to remember you for and what's going to make people want to spend time with you is how you make them feel and the memories that they have with you and the things that you get excited about. I feel like in my experience, the people that I gravitate towards are the ones that have just so much enjoyment for life, and I feel really safe around them. All of the other things that make them such beautiful people to me. Anyway, I hope this gave you a couple tips, a couple things that you want to try out. If you did enjoy this video, give it a like. You can subscribe so you don't miss any more content from me. Here's my Instagram as well if you'd like to see more content from me. And until next time, I will talk to you in my next video. Bye!